Today's gospel is one that I think all priests and deacons dread. To have to read all those names in the genealogy of Jesus as presented by St. Matthew. I know at seminary, we all dreaded being deacon on December 17th, for on that day each year, the genealogy that we heard tonight was the gospel. Now this evening, I could have proclaimed a shorter version of the gospel, skipping the genealogy altogether. But there are some very important lessons to be learned from what Matthew was trying to do by beginning his gospel in this way. Matthew's intent in tracing Jesus' lineage through Abraham and David, a crucial point for his Jewish Christian readers, was to show that the birth of Jesus occurred at just the right time, in just the right way. Matthew tries to show the legitimate claim of Jesus as the Davidic dynasty by virtue of his legal adoption by Joseph. The genealogy roots Jesus firmly in the history of Israel, as well as showing the surprising instruments that God used in fulfilling his promise: good kings and bad, prostitutes and virgins, and so forth. The genealogy has a most unfamiliar feature in that women are mentioned, for women have no legal rights in that society. Even more amazing, the four of the women mentioned had a less than distinguished history. Rahab was a Canaanite prostitute. Ruth was a pagan of the tribe of Moab, an alien and hated people. Tamar was a deliberate seducer and adulteress, and Bathsheba, the wife of Uriah the Hittite, committed adultery with David. Why did Matthew single out these women when he could have chosen far more respectable ones? Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and so forth. If Matthew had ransacked the pages of the Old Testament, he could not have discovered four more incredible ancestors for Jesus. Perhaps Matthew was making the point that in salvation history, not everything is neat and tidy. Perhaps here, at the beginning of the gospel, Matthew is showing us the essence of the gospel of Jesus Christ, that barriers are coming down. The barrier between Jew and Gentile is down. The barrier between male and female is down. The barrier between saint and sinner is down. Here at the very beginning of the gospel, we are given a hint of the all-embracing whip of the love of God. God can find his servants among those from whom the respectable and orthodox would flee in horror. In our day, we tend to minimize the importance of genealogies, but in Jesus' time, family genealogy was everything. In an honor-shame culture, as existed then, one got honor by having it ascribed because of one's father, one's family ties. People thought of one's ancestors as revealing what sort of person that one would become. Therefore, people wanted to know who one's parents were. Tonight's psalm, the second reading gospel, all focus on Jesus' family lineage, his family ties. Jesus is a Davidson, a son of David, who would fulfill the hopes and dreams of all ancestors. Jesus would inherit the key to his father's house, pay off the mortgage, if you will, and open the gates of heaven to all humanity, as well as to the Jews. Christmas is a time of hope. God became man, entered human history. He became part of mankind, a mankind that is depraved and fallen, in order to raise it up. The great hope is that God doesn't call only the perfect, but the imperfect. I came, Jesus said, not to call the righteous, but sinners. Jesus calls people like you and me. We don't have to be the smartest, the handsomest, or the wealthiest. Man was born for greatness, lost his greatness, and can regain it again, because into this world God sent his only Son, Jesus Christ, the son of Abraham, the son of David, the Son of God.